Hello everybody, it's Cartoon 12 or ToonGal 12 or KC, whatever you want to call me, back for a new reaction. Alright guys, today we got a very special treat for you guys. We are finally reacting to another movie this week. Okay, so what's really special about this one is that technically I actually have seen this movie before. It's actually a fan film today, which makes it extra special. And what's neat about this is that I actually did see this before, but I don't know how long ago it was. It was like years and years ago. It had to be at least like over like 10 years ago or so that I first saw this, and I have been searching for this movie for like forever. Like, I really wish I could remember how I even first discovered this movie, but when I did, I remember watching it once on the gentleman who made this fan film. I think it was on his own website. He had it uploaded on, and I watched it there. And then a few years later, I tried looking for it, and by then I think the website was like gone or whatever, and I just, for whatever reason, all this time, I just couldn't find it anymore. I don't know whether he like uploaded it somewhere else and I just couldn't find it. I don't know. But it wasn't until recently that I searched on YouTube and I managed to find it. He has all 3 parts uploaded. So today I'm going to be revisiting this really cool fan film called Star Trek vs. Batman. Yes, you heard me, Star Trek vs. Batman. We are taking 2 of probably one of the like greatest TV shows in the 60s and smashing them together. And the way that they put this together, at least from what I can remember, is really, really cool. Now, I guess in a certain sense you could call this a half-blind reaction because it was so long ago. Like, I can't remember the exact specifics of the plot or anything. There's maybe only like 4 or 5 key moments that I can remember from this, and if I remember it as we go along, I'll point it out to you guys, but for the most part, since it was just so long ago since I seen this, I might as well be kind of going into this blind again. So, but in any case, I just got, like, as soon as I found it, I was like, oh, I gotta react to this, because I was so glad that I found it again. And, of course, I'll put links in the video description so that you guys can watch this whole thing for yourselves. It's on YouTube, uploaded in 3 parts, because they do, the way they have this movie set up is they have it in sections, much like a 3-part or 2-part episode of the Batman show, with cliffhangers in the middle of each one, which is why it's in 3 parts. So I think what we're going to do is I'll watch through, like, even though this will all be together in one video, I'll react to each part separately, and like when it's over, I'll give like my overall thoughts of that part. We'll take a little break and then we'll do the next part and so on. But enough talk. We got an hour-and-a-half movie to get through here, so let's get started. Let me just sync myself up here. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, after years and years of searching for it, Star Trek vs. Batman. 3, 2, 1, play.
Captain's log. Stardate unknown. After falling through an unusual magnetic storm, we've somehow arrived back at Earth. Earth of the past, that is. Mr. Spock's analysis has determined we are in the latter half of the 20th century. Mr. Spock and I are beaming down to investigate.
Yeah! Alright. Not too bad looking. Although, Kirk, why do you have your phaser out with your finger on the trigger button already?
Captain.
Yes, Mr. Spock?
I'm reading a strange amount of nitrous oxide emanating from behind this very wall.
What about those magnetic readings?
From behind this wall.
Kirk to Enterprise?
Scott here, Captain.
Scotty, did long-range sensor scans detect any peculiar readings before we beamed down here, such as nitrous oxide?
Negative, Captain.
Mr. Scott.
Okay, whoever's doing Scott's voice is doing a pretty good impression. Uh-oh. Oh, Spock really took a tumble there. Come on, you guys couldn't hold your breath. Dun dun dun.
Space, the final frontier.
Alright, this is pretty cool. Now, did you notice in the opening there that they could have easily just used stock footage from like from an episode, but no, they're actually going through the trouble of like photoshopping their own, like the ship and the planets and everything, which is interesting. And the fact that that was good that he did, the guy who's playing Kirk here, that was kind of a good idea that he did the opening himself instead of just cutting to Shatner saying it. Kind of helps all of the like sounds and stuff mesh together better when they just say it themselves. Star Trek versus Batman. Oh, but now we got the Batman music. Whoa!
Patrol of Gotham City, Batman and Robin answer Chief O'Hare's call of a strange UFO high above Gotham.
Not to be confused with Joker's flying saucer. Man, like, where the heck do you find a Batmobile to rent? Like, where did they get this? But whoever the guy was doing the voice of the narrator there did a pretty good job.
Use caution, Robin. We don't want our presence to be known quite yet.
Oh, sure, because you're very subtle. Look at their hands! You know you guys could just slip through those, right?
You alright?
Yes, Captain.
What do you make of this place?
Clearly an uncivilized holding area. Prevalent in late 20th century imprisonment.
Got any?
Kind of cool that anytime they cut to Batman, it's Batman music, but then the second they showed the Trek people, it goes back to the Trek music.
Who are you? What is the meaning of this?
I was just about to say, like, you were right behind him. Why didn't you neck pitch him? But okay, he beat me to the punch.
Let's get out of here.
Good old Star Trek neck chop. Ooh, snap. the Blue's Clues.
Commander Spock and I are being held against our wills by a deranged lunatic whose motives are not yet clear. However, this web of mystery now seems to have a face. The face of an obsolete character from Earth's past. A Joker. Yet the strange woman who seems to mimic a feline enthralls me.
Of course she does.
Perfect. But I think I'll sharpen my claws on this one.
Oh, good morning, Captain. Or should I say good night in your case?
How the heck did he know he's a captain? Does he even know who they are?
What is the meaning of this? Oh, listen to him, my feline friend. He sounds ruffled.
I find your amusement quite unessential. The captain asked you a question.
Ooh, such a strange, devilish creature.
Okay, so he doesn't know who Spock is, or that he's an alien, but he somehow knows that Kirk's the captain.
And that he's not human. Come now, Captain.
Yes, thank you.
Don't blow one of those precious little veins
Okay, guess we're never getting the answer to that.
But if it really matters that much to you, all the information I needed to know to take over your spaceship was tucked away nicely inside of the pointy-eared hobgoblin's little black box there.
Okay.
You stage all this to get your hands on my ship?
Oh, come, Captain. It really won't matter. Once I erase your useless brain patterns, you'll transfer control of the ship over to me and help ravage the planet.
Oh, snap. Man, like, the Trek people just got here.
Lost in space, Batman.
Lost in space.
Those two must be from the spaceship that Chief O'Hara tracked from outer space.
Oh, Captain, can I please...
Man, Joker and Catwoman work really fast.
Possible, Boy Wonder. Obviously another unlawful antic by the Joker to control not only Gotham, but the entire planet as we know it.
What if their spaceship had weapons that could... Gosh, Batman, we've got to stop them.
That's precisely what we're going to do. If the anti-crime fighting unit on the Batmobile is working properly, it indicated a small, obscure entryway directly beneath us. Follow me.
Oh, snap. Fight it! Fight it! They're not gonna fight it.
Turn yourself in while you can, Joker. Your game is up, and so is yours, Catwoman.
Watch out, Batman. You know what she can do.
Aware and completely cognizant of the outcome of such rash behavior, thank you.
Oh, you've yet to see the outcome of the brain drain, Batman. Originally designed to clean you and the Boy Wonder's rickety brains, I found a much more sensitive pair of half-wits.
Uh-oh.
Open contest, Batman. We've never fought anyone from outer space before.
At least we know they move like humans, Robin. Perhaps this could be our advantage.
Kill the worthless crime stoppers!
Wanna bet?
Kill the heroes! Kill the heroes!
Kill Batman. Kill
Oh no! Bat fight time! Ooh. Oh jeez! Ooh! Oh! You notice they're using the music from the Batman movie, not the traditional, like, bat fight music from the TV show. Well, I guess this answers the age-old question of who would win in a fight. Batman or Captain Kirk with his Kirk foo.
Grab the anti-alien spray from my utility belt.
Oh, not so fast, Blue Boy!
Kirk to Enterprise.
What the heck?
4 to beam up. Kirk out.
Aye, Captain.
How the heck did he do that? So Joker's a super genius who knows how to reverse engineer futuristic technology and can mimic people's voices.
Holy Houdini, Batman. What do we do?
We have no choice but to follow them, my friend.
Can the dynamic duo stop the dastardly Joker and the cunning Catwoman? Will Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock's brains be saved?
It's Spock's brain all over again.
Next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
All right, that was awesome. Okay, we're gonna stop here. All right, awesome. So that was part 1 of 3. And so far, some of it is starting to come back to me. I think the most of it that I remember from all those years ago was this first part. After this, I think is when it's going to start to get more fuzzy for me. There's only like 1 or 2 parts I distinctly remember in like the latter half of this, but that first part, which seemed to be the only part that was like available anywhere for the longest time when I tried finding it again over the years, that's probably why I remember this part the most, just because that seemed to be the one part that was circulated everywhere. But so far it's pretty good. I mean, I think obviously the actors don't look exactly like the characters or anything, but you know, you just use your imagination. But they're all doing pretty good impressions of the characters and everything. Probably the one and only criticism I can give is that the sound quality is just a little bit, kinda. Like, you can tell that they must have had just like, they're just using the microphone of whatever cameras that they had, because you can hear their voices echoing and stuff in the room. You, like, especially during that last part where they get into the bat fight and Batman and Robin are way off in the distance, I was almost kind of straining to hear what they were saying. Like, if they had like some kind of microphones hidden on them somewhere so they could get more like clear audio, they could have probably did that. But that's really the only little criticism I have so far, is just the sound kind of goes in and out here and there. But like, their music choices are great, the acting is pretty decent, the costumes are great. Where the heck they got a Batmobile, I don't know. I guess they must have had some connection somewhere that they were able to rent one. But, and like I said earlier, the fact that they could have like that opening shot of the Enterprise flying around Earth, they could have easily just grabbed some footage from any episode, but no, they went through the trouble of actually like using Photoshop, and I guess somebody on this team must have known like how to make like CGI 3D models or something, that they were able to replicate the Enterprise and everything. They went through the trouble of making their own opening instead of just grabbing footage from the show, which, hey, more power to ya. But alright, so, but that's it. That was part one. So, we're gonna take one tiny little break here, and we will be back for part two. Hello, fellow Trekkies and citizens of Gotham. We are back for part 2 of Star Trek vs. Batman. Will Kirk and Spock be able to get their brains back? Will the Joker and Catwoman take over the Enterprise? Will the Enterprise crew be able to get back to their own time? Let's find out. Without further ado, let's get started with part 2. Ready? 3, 2, 1, play.
As we last left our heroes, Batman and Robin, danger lurked from within the vile confines.
Okay, so the first part started like a Star Trek episode, and now we got our next opening's going to be like Batman. That's cool that they're switching back and forth between them.
And the Princess of Blunder, the clever Catwoman. Using the Joker's oddball brain drain device, Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock are turned into cryptic zombies from outer space. Squaring off, mono.
Like someone who drew the alien in the background.
Meet their greatest challenge. Can Gotham's ace crime fighters thwart the Joker's hideous plans?
I think they can.
Stay tuned.
Oh my god, that was awesome! That's awesome! They photoshopped photoshopped him from the animated series into the opening. That's awesome. I forgot about that. Okay, now we got the Trek opening. Like whenever they would come back from a two-parter, now we have the Trek opening. Again, I like that they're switched back and forth. Uh-oh. So first we had bat fight music, now we have the traditional... the Trek fight music.
You'll never get away with this, Joker. Oh, quite the contrary. I think there's nothing left to stop me.
Is there any... Ooh! Is there any crew members walking around that see this happening?
Get rid of them all.
Man, these shots are really good. Come on, don't you got...
Captain and
Wait.
Mr. Spock are acting a wee bit strange, Mr. Zulu.
You're not yourself. Something must have happened.
Mr. Sulu, lock phasers on Capitol Dome.
Oh, come on, can't you guys figure out that
Well, I think you better do what your captain said.
they're just gonna let the Joker sit in the chair and command everybody? Like, nobody sees the headbands on them, like...
I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to a girl.
Well, what in blazes name are you calling me for?
So he was able to figure out all this technology, but he can't figure out the couple buttons on the chair.
Captain, full security alert. Repeat, full security alert. 2 intruders are on board.
Okay, now they call security.
No, you dimwit. Kill. Hey,
And of course, Starfleet security is just as good as they always are. Oh. Batman doesn't use guns! I mean, granted it's a phaser, but come on, it's a gun.
Batman? I can't make out anything on this panel.
This is Lyndon Johnson, President of the United States.
Not for much longer, I'm afraid. Fire! Fire everything you have!
Uh-oh. Oh, snap! Well, there goes the space-time continuum. They're using the music from the Doomsday Machine.
Mr. President, this is Batman speaking.
Oh, Batman, thank God. What tarnations is going on?
Consequences of a madman, Mr. President. Absolute power in the hands of a criminally insane. Rest assured, Robin and I will
I'd
do
like
all
to
we
know if
can
that's what the
to
president
bring this
really
criminal
sounded
swiftly
like.
to Justice. Batman out. Hurry, we must take control of this ship.
Commercial break.
Headsets are obvious devices to control them. Try to take them off before...
I'm so sorry to bring everything to a crashing halt for you, Blue Boy, but this is one festivity you won't stop. Captain.
Kill Batman and Robin.
Ooh. Okay, he should have just sliced their heads off with the laser right there. Ooh, Spock pinch.
Put that on the transporter pad, Catwoman. The pointy end freaks, too.
Oh.
Now, Batman, let me show you your last chance to vanish into deep space.
If that guy's from security, shouldn't he be wearing a red shirt? Whatever.
Oh, you see, Batman? Everything the captain and his first officer knew was placed in those headpieces. Why, their very souls, if you will, are now floating about in space.
Oh, snap.
I will get you, Joker.
Oh, I'm sorry. Terribly sorry, Batman. But I think your time at the table is over.
Yeah, go Scotty.
While I'm on this ship, mister. Let him go. That's an order.
Yes, sir. Just following Captain's orders.
Don't worry, lad. Just make sure those two are locked up.
See, Scotty's the only one with a brain here. He's the real MVP of this crew.
Nervous system, brainwaves, non-functional.
Just as feared. It's the Joker's mechanism he uses to rob the victim's mind.
Man, they did a really good job on these sets.
All chances of undoing everything's already been done.
Precisely, sir. Unless your transporter can find the exact location to where he beamed the devices into space.
Impossible. They're probably 1,000 miles away from nearby now.
Oh, come on, Scotty. We pulled off the impossible before.
Needle in a haystack.
Yes. Thank you for that correlation. Does this ship have any spacesuits or ferrying craft of any kind?
Afraid not, lad. They're all in service back at Starbase 27.
Starbase 27, way off in the
Can you
future.
beam us back to planet Earth
Aye. What's your plan, Batman?
to test a new device I've invented. Quickly, Mr. Scott, send us back to the Batmobile. We haven't one moment to lose.
To the bat poles. I mean, the transporter. To the bat porter. I still want to know where they got that Batmobile. That, by the way, is my favorite version of the Batmobile, is the 60s one. I want that car so bad. It's so beautiful. And again, they could have just used shots from the show for the Batmobile, but they didn't. They went through the trouble of driving down the street with the car, filming it.
Oh, help! Help! I need help over here, please! Thank you, kind girl.
Oh my God!
Thank you to let me.
Is she supposed to be Yeoman Rand? Look at her hair! Oh my God!
Well, I'm not really supposed to. Oh, darling.
Don't listen to her.
Help a sister from the pain.
Don't listen to her! Oh, idiot!
Thank you, darling.
Oop! Cat slap!
Red really isn't my color. Do you like it?
Oh, double cross!
Let me out, you useless furball!
You can rot in here for all I care. This is my show now.
Plot twist. Hey, where'd she get that? They beamed him into space.
What did you do to me?
That's what I like to know.
Always back up what is most precious to you, Captain. The Joker thought he only made one brain drain device.
So why did you bring me back? What about my
Oh,
friends?
alright. That's smart.
I only had yours.
I don't know what women are like in this time. But I'm not as naive as you think. You think I wouldn't recognize you in that uniform?
Oh, Captain, must we fight?
Of course.
I've wanted you since the moment I saw you.
How do I know I can trust you?
You can't.
Who said anything about trust?
Well, that's definitely in character for him.
Captain! It's all right, gentlemen. Lieutenant Kyle here was clever enough to locate one of the Joker's backup brain devices.
launch up here to help look for Mr. Spock's brain.
No way
Spock's brain again.
The signal? No, Captain. This is USS Enterprise hailing Bat Rocket.
Bat Rocket? Oh yeah, I remember this now. This is one of the parts I do remember from years ago. Wait till you guys see this.
Apology, my friend. I wasn't myself when my...
Prepare for liftoff. Bat rocket out.
And insert NASA footage.
Engines ready?
Roger, ready for launch.
This is Gotham City Launch Control, Batman. You're cleared for immediate liftoff.
Back to the Batman movie music again. Batman and Robin are such badasses, they don't need no spacesuits. They're strong enough that they can handle all the jostling. Ta-da! Check it out. That's awesome.
Two small fragments, straight ahead.
And this was way before the Return of the Cape Crusaders movie, so technically this fan film did the Bat Rocket first.
Careful, Batman.
Come on, you can do it.
Well, I never thought I'd see the day where I'd be actually glad to have you back.
On the contrary, Doctor, I found the experience to be quite calming.
Of course. That's something they'd say.
While Joker had control of this ship, he managed to decimate the entire United States defense grid along with the Soviet Unions with our phaser banks. We have little choice but to try to somehow undo what has been done. I'm open to suggestions.
Captain, even with your futuristic technology, it would be nearly impossible to rebuild every building the Joker destroyed, let alone the infrastructure he so fiendishly obliterated.
And it'd be expensive.
Jim, we can't go back down there and rebuild everything back the way it was.
His line delivery was pretty good there.
It is curious that we are still here.
Explain.
By destroying this time period's military and defense systems, the Joker might have very well altered the course of future history, yet we are still here. Either we had no direct impact on the changing of history, or we were caught in some sort of time displacement, shielding us from whatever the consequences of his actions were.
Fascinating.
Good point. Of course. That was funny. Oh! I remember this.
Holy alien planet. Are we going there?
The Guardian?
Hey, how about that?
Spock, you can't be serious.
By utilizing its powers in time travel, we can, in essence, undo this series of events by preventing our own accidental arrival in 1967.
Like we were never even here.
Precisely.
That's pretty dangerous, Mr. Spock. You know what happened last time?
Danger's our middle name.
Mr. Spock is right, sir. Our automated system has been bypassed like a Christmas tree. I can't even give you enough power to send a slingshot around the sun in Time Warp.
Tomorrow's yesterday.
Well, gentlemen, it looks like you're going to be the first deep space travelers of the 20th century.
Just a day in the life of a crime fighter, Captain Kirk.
Mr. Sulu, set course for Guardian Planet, maximum warp.
Anyway, I was going to say earlier, I thought that was funny how Spock and Robin, like, switched catchphrases there. Now it's like the Trek end credits. Cool. Alright, we're done here. Pause that. And there we go. That was part 2. And, yeah, so I think it was this middle section that was kind of fuzzy to me the most, but once the back rocket thing showed up, that was the part that I did remember the most out of this. But like I said in part 1, the production value is still pretty high here. I mean, again, it seems the one little problem here is like the sound quality with like their echoey voices and however big the studio was that they shot this in, but other than that, it's like all the actors are doing a pretty decent job. I mean, each one of them has like their one moment where they hit the mark there, and most of the characters sound like they're saying things that kind of sound like something they would say. Although, like I pointed out, there were certain things that were kind of weird, like they call for, like on the Enterprise, they call for security, but the guy's wearing like the wrong color uniform. Then the fact that that Batman is using a phaser, which I think would be a little too close to a gun, and Batman doesn't use guns, like that was kind of weird. And then of course the biggest thing is that, okay, so Joker's taken control of Kirk and Spock's minds, but it's not like he's being sneaky about it. It's not like he's hiding somewhere behind the scenes, like commanding them to do stuff. It's like he's sitting right there in the captain's chair, which is really funny and cool to see Joker in the captain's chair, but like I said, Scotty's the only one who actually does anything. Like, you would think that, you know, the whole crew is right there. Wouldn't they just jump him? Like, the fact that they're like not batting an eyelash to literally destroying monuments and stuff on Earth, like, come on guys. I mean, unless this was supposed to be the more like Batman-y part of the crossover where it's supposed to be more silly, I don't know, but that seemed to be the one little hang-up I had with in terms of the plot, is that I think in that section the Enterprise crew was acting kind of grossly out of character in that part just to have the plot work, but whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna be that particular on it. I mean, it's Star Trek versus Batman. It's supposed to be fun. It's silly fun. But yeah, and I'm really interested to find out how they like built all of these sets, because I mean, if anything on the Enterprise, you at least have to build the bridge set, like, and the fact that they had the actual captain's chair and everything, like just building the bridge is one thing, but they also had hallways, they had like the transporter room. Like, I don't know where they're shooting this, but they did a really good job on all the interior sets and everything. And then, of course, we get the Bat Rocket, which, like I said, I think they got the Bat Rocket in the Return of the Cape Crusaders animated movie, which this fan film predates, and I don't know, just I'd really like to know, like, where they, like, rented all these sets and the car and, like, the outfits and everything. Like, I'm just really blown away. Like, this is a really, like, good production here. And I'm really glad I found it again. Like, it's all starting to kind of come back to me here. And I remembered the Guardian of Forever part at the end, which that's what we're gonna get back to here in the final part. So, again, we're gonna take a quick little break, and we will be back for the conclusion. Hello, Trekkies and citizens of Gotham. We are back for part 3 and the conclusion to Star Trek vs. Batman. Will Kirk, Spock, Batman, and Robin be able to use the Guardian of Forever to go back and change history so that history happens the way it's supposed to? We're about to find out. Here we go. Star Trek vs. Batman, part 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1, play. Back to Star Trek openings again.
Captain's log, stardate unknown. After departing Earth for the Guardian planet, I've ordered mandatory shore leave for my crew in light of recent stressful events. We've arrived at Beta Alpha 3, an uninhabited planet that serves as a retreat for Federation staff some 220 years later.
Beach planet.
Oh, James, I've never been happier.
So this lady tried taking over your ship, and now you're gonna make out with her. Of course.
We can make the most of it now.
Give Mr. Spock the ship. Stay with me. We can start here, like Adam and Eve.
Oh, brother.
I can't give up my command.
An entirely different planet, Batman.
Yes, quite a lovely one, I might add.
An entirely different planet that I can kinda see the house in the background, but whatever.
You'll understand more of the female species in a few more years. Ladies?
Of course. Oh, come on, there's gotta be an ensign or yeoman that would go out with Robin.
James, please.
They're almost using like the special effects from the movies for when they go into warp.
Robin, it has indeed been an honor to fight the good fight alongside the two of you.
I'll make sure you never get to command the Enterprise.
Oh yeah, the Joker. I almost forgot about him.
Mr. Joker?
Whoever that actor is, he does a really good Joker impression. He's got the laugh down really good.
I swore I'd never come back.
Welcome back, Captain Kirk.
How do you know me? It's 230 years before we even meet.
Once here, all is known for eternity.
Oh, he's got the glowing rock's got a point.
Is it possible to show us future history?
All is possible in time.
Whoever's doing the Guardian's voice almost kind of sounds like he's burping his lines a bit. Wait, he just said to show him future events, but that's
Right
the
at
past.
the moment where we prevent Dr. McCoy from altering history.
Oh yeah. Huh.
At this rate, it'll take...
Gosh, Batman. We'll get to see what happens to us.
Quite right, Robin. You'll have quite the advantage in your history class.
Of course.
Come on, let's go help the captain.
Okay, the green screen in this section's a little...
This looks like fun. What is it?
Who cares? As long as I can use it to stop Kirk from ever becoming captain.
Not so fast, Joker.
Ta-da!
Selena, don't!
Then come with me.
I wouldn't concede, Captain. She's a shrewd woman, that darn Catwoman is.
I can't.
Oh no!
Batman and Robin have agreed to follow us along to help locate Selena before her arrival.
Here they go.
And now,
Awesome! Good job on the effect there.
We'll split into two teams. Spock and I, and you and Robin.
Robin has readjusted the bat radio to your frequency, Captain.
I'm not sure how this time period will react to your apparel.
Probably just as skeptically as they would to your best friend.
I see your point. Keep all communication...
Oh, don't worry. Everybody will just think you're going to a Comic-Con. It's fine. Oh, it would have been neat if they would have swapped guys, like had Spock and Robin or Spock and Batman together and vice versa, but oh well.
We'll get to see us as old guys.
Easy, Boy Wonder. We don't want to draw attention.
Holy doppelganger. Look,
Oh my god.
it doesn't even look like you, Batman. He looks angry.
Obviously a cheap gimmick. Poor imitation at our expense for the sake of $1, Robin.
Burn. Where am I in
wouldn't
this?
pay any more notice to that, Boy Wonder. We're here on assignment to stop the treachery of Catwoman.
Yeah, suck it, Dark Batman. The Bright Knight's where it's at.
Progress in finding out what Catwoman did exactly?
Of course, now they're doing Edge of Forever again.
Apparently, she becomes quite a powerful U.S. Senator within 4 years. After attaining the executive chair of the Senate Oversight Committee, Senator Kyle sets out to
Did you see that on the thing? I'm going to have to play that back. Did you see what it said on the...
ship's databanks. The NASA program was in turmoil after attaining the executive chair of the Senate Oversight Committee. Senator Kyle said after a series of accidents brought this one event obliterates the groundwork that would eventually emerge as Starfleet Command. Earth does not re-enter space exploration until late 22nd century.
Damn, Catwoman's really becoming like the real villain of this movie.
She must be stopped, Jim. Whatever feelings you have developed for her must be neglected if we are to be successful.
Why would you have feelings for her to start with? I'm going to have to go back and freeze frame those newspaper shots because they all, from what I could, how fast it went by, there was some funny stuff hidden in those. What?
Hey, baby, check out them skin. Kitty.
What the F? What? What? What the hell? What the heck was that? Oh my god. Oh my, what the heck was that for?
I seriously think you should reconsider moving your position. It seems that the local law enforcement knows your whereabouts.
No worries, Captain. The police are
Look at those. Look at those bad binoculars. Look how big they are. Oh my
at the
god.
east intersection, 3 yards from your position. Good work, chump. Quickly to the street.
Of all the stuff that's happened in this movie, somehow this one spot became the funniest part of this whole movie. Uh-oh. Oh, come on, you can jump out of the way. Ooh.
Hang on. We'll get you back up to the ship. Stay. Stay.
Well, that's the end of that 3-second romance.
All is as it once was.
One more assignment. We must prevent the Enterprise from ever entering the magnetic storm that brought us here.
So you have to go back in that thing?
Affirmative. Once I prevent our ship from entering the magnetic storm, every event will cease to exist, as if it never happened. Your memory of us will vanish.
Oh, dang it.
Death, everything.
So how do Batman and I get back to Earth?
Easy, Boy Wonder. We'll be automatically shifted back to Earth. Like a dream, if you will.
Precisely. Excuse me, gentlemen. I must depart. Live long and prosper.
Why don't they just put Batman and Robin back in the Guardian? That'll take them back to Earth. Because I think it... That was weird. Because you think as long as they stay on this planet, they're like out of the... They're like out of the space-time continuum. That's weird. And that's the end. Well, that was kind of a... almost kind of a downer ending to that. And that was Batman versus, or Star Trek versus Batman. Good job, everybody. That was really good. I like this, like, orchestral version of the Batman theme. Oh, it's like combining the Batman and Trek themes together. Okay, we're gonna stop here. This is good. If I just sit there forever, we're gonna be listening to the end credits theme forever. I'll have to go back and like listen to that full ending theme there myself. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Star Trek versus Batman. And for that third part, man, I remembered they went through the Guardian of Forever, but like, okay, can we just stop and talk about that scene? And you know what scene I'm talking about.
Hey, baby, check out them skins. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Like, what? That just came completely out of nowhere. Like, that was hands down the funniest part of this whole thing. Like, what? What the heck? That's all I can say to that is just, what the heck? Anyway, moving on from that spectacle, but yeah, part 3, that was kind of weird that, like, other than them going back in time, like, other than that funny bit with the Batman Begins poster, Batman and Robin didn't really do too much in that final part. It was really just all, like, Star Trek, basically. And it was almost, you know, for how funny and wacky it was in the first 2 parts, it almost kind of had a bit of a bittersweet ending there. Like, they basically kill Catwoman, although I know that history is going to be changed, so, you know, she's alive or whatever, but yeah, that was almost kind of a downer ending to the movie there. And now the weird thing is that, okay, like in the City on the Edge of Forever episode, you know, the drugged up Dr. McCoy jumps through the Guardian, he changes history, and then Kirk and the crew, who were also on the planet, the Guardian planet, they try to hail the ship, they're not getting an answer, and that's when they figure out that history's been changed and stuff. But it's not like they blinked out of existence. They're still there. Like, as long as they, like, being on the planet, I guess that planet is, like, outside the space-time continuum, so that even though history got changed, whoever was on the planet was protected from that. So why is it suddenly not doing that here? Like Spock goes back, they fix history, but then all of them just, like, disappear there, even though they were on the planet. Shouldn't have being on the planet protected them from that? I don't know. That's kind of just like how I said in part 2 with, you know, why is the crew, like, allowing Joker to take over the ship and stuff? That's another thing that I think there was a little, like, I don't know if I want to say out of character, but sort of like continuity-ish issues there of, you know, we clearly saw in the episode and in that animated series episode where Spock goes back with the Guardian to fix his own personal history. It was the same deal. As long as you were on the Guardian planet, you were protected from whatever changes in history were made. So why they suddenly change it there, I don't know. That's kind of like my one other only criticism of part 3 is that whole part ending with the Guardian was just weird. But hey, I guess I'm just kind of splitting hairs at this point, but there you are. That's Star Trek versus Batman. Otherwise, just with maybe 1 or 2 sound issues and a few, like, plot hiccups here and there, it's a really, really good production, especially with all their costumes and sets and the cars and all those having to do all the spaceship effects in outer space and stuff, like, and just the whole background music they chose, how they interwove both the Batman themes and the Star Trek music themes all together was awesome. So all 3 parts are available on YouTube, so if any of you out there want to, you know, fully check this out and just you know, without my commentary on it, and just enjoy it for yourselves, go right ahead. After all this time, I'm really glad I was able to find this again, and I'm really hoping that it's able to stay up on YouTube so that other people can watch it and just appreciate all the hard work and effort that went into this. Like, these people clearly, like, were big fans of both shows and had references to, like, all sorts of both Batman and Star Trek episodes throughout the whole production. And like I said, I will have the links to at least to part 1 in the description, because once you click on part 1, you'll be able to find the other 2 parts. They should pop up one right after the other, but I'll put the link to the first part in the description here so you can go and follow the paths there and watch this whole thing for yourselves. But there you go, guys. Thanks for joining me on this really awesome crossover adventure. And if you have anything else that you want me to react to, then be sure to drop a line and I'll see what I can do. But until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and bye-bye.